On a good note, injury report's exact same as yesterday for the most part, with Cody Temple being the only guy out. Again, with his back still. J.R. Tavai came out with a hamstring during practice. Other than that, fortunately, we continue to stay pretty healthy. Day two, as usual, wasn't quite as energetic as day one. Coming out a little bit earlier with a little bit hotter at the start. A little bit disappointed in that, but they finished strong at the end, which was good to see.
How many total guys do you have out here?
There are, if you count Cody, I believe we are 102.
So how much of a difference is that for you compared to last fall and in the spring?
Yeah, completely different than the spring. It's better than the fall was a year ago, but completely different than the spring. You feel better as coaches. There were so many times in the spring, as much as you try to stay positive, it was discouraging. We were coaching a number of people that are never going to play Division I college football, and spending a lot of energy and a lot of time on them. And so, we still brought our energy, but it was discouraging. As you walk out the field and you watch the film and see where we're at. And so, it's why after the UCLA game we said that it was so critical for the future of this program to sign a great class and a deep class. And so, hopefully we did that. And I think our lines look completely different than they do a year ago. Not just by number, but by height, weight, speed, and size. But that doesn't mean you win games. We still have a lot of work to do to make sure those guys are in the right place, executing at a high level.
What was the lowest number you had during the spring?
I don't know that exactly offhand. I'll have it for you tomorrow. I can look it up. I know that with 30, basically 30 new guys, 8 maybe or 7 maybe, 23 plus another 12 that are out there. That's 35 guys that did not practice a lick in the spring, added to this 35 scholarship players. So, obviously that makes it very different. It allows us to do some different things in practice, and as long as we continue to stay healthy, it's going to allow us to practice completely different as we get to our scrimmages. And our scrimmages this spring, our scrimmages as we get to the preseason games coming up here, will probably be 3-hour-long real games. Hopefully we're getting the amount of plays. We'll actually be able to divide up in teams on the sidelines, and I think it's going to help us a lot. It's going to help us from a conditioning standpoint and a playing standpoint, but it's going to help us as a staff to figure out. You think about last year, we went into games not really knowing what was going to happen, as far as when things really went live, especially with tackling.
Has there been any players or players from the incoming classes that have surprised you? I know it's only 2 days into fall camp, but
yeah, I think Amir Carlisle has flashed again today, and so that's great to see. It's a position that, you always want depth at. And, he's a great kid, a 4.0 student. He's very serious about being a student athlete, so we're excited to have him and excited to see his approach to the game too.
How about Andre Walker?
Yeah, Andre's got some work to do. That transition's a lot harder than a running back or a receiver, a DB, to play right tackle. That's a lot of stuff. So, but there's tremendous talent there. His feet at 364 pounds, they don't make many humans like that.
What is Mark Tyler allowed to do exactly? Is he allowed to work out in the weight room or anything of that nature?
Yeah, he does nothing with us out here, as you see. He does not attend any of our meetings. He can work out at different times from our team.
Does anyone monitor his progress physically and also with whatever discipline and so forth?
We do. To know where he is, A and B for safety too. So we do monitor him when he comes back out.
Cyrus Hobie was going at right guard. You had indicated media day your preference would be maybe to break up him and Walker. Why Hobie at right guard?
Well, we got to figure out our guards and figure out if it's going to be a true freshman, and it could even be Andre moving in there too. Our guards haven't played at all that are there, and they're going to have to show us. One guy's never played, just came from junior college, and the other guy, John Martinez, really hasn't played. So we got to make sure that we're putting the best guys there. We're going to continue to rotate guys in there. I think we feel great about our center, great about our left tackle. We're starting to feel better about our right tackle, and we got a lot of work to do at the other spots.
Is Devontae Wilson, is he enrolled on the team, or is that being delayed?
He went to summer school here. As you know, he had the ACL, and I don't know. He's going to finish summer school Tuesday. I don't know if I can say much more on that for sure. I got to check that.
There were a couple times when Matt threw the ball to Robert and he had two guys on him, and one time he made the catch and one time it was a nearly interception. Do you have to coach Matt at all to, if Robert's double covered, or to try to spread the ball around? I mean, it's always such a tempting possibility or tempting thing to throw to Robert because he's so good.
Yeah, it's risk reward. You got to know where you're at in the situation. Are you trailing? You got to make plays. Sometimes you got to take those chances. But in the normal course of the game, we don't want to do that. We throw that up where he's got to make great plays with two guys. Now, one-on-one, even when he's covered one-on-one, we do it sometimes, and especially with our bigger guys. You see Kyle throwing into that role. You're going to throw him a lot of balls while he's covered.
How many guys are on scholarship?
On scholarship here would be 79, I believe.
And that's including the two guys that converted here yet.
No, I believe there's 79 guys on scholarship that are here or on our roster.
You didn't have. Go ahead.
That counts Allen and Junior Pome as well.
I don't think when that 79 was counting because he's not here yet.
You didn't have Bryce Butler in the spring, but you had him for a couple days now. What have you seen out of him? What are you looking to see out of him?
Completely different than what we saw before. Physical, aggressive, going after balls. Other areas he's still doing well that he was before, his preparation and his seriousness about the game. He had that before and he continues to do that. So I'm extremely pleased where he is. As Gary mentioned before, the difference of the spring and the fall with our team, but just look at that position group, to add him in there. Kyle Prater hadn't been doing anything. Those are probably, if we went today, those are probably our first two X's. We didn't even hear doing anything. So, and then to add George, Marquise, and Victor, that's pretty, that's like adding three rookies and then but also adding two free agents, that already know our system. So it's a pretty neat room.
When you see George catch a ball, get boop, and then just take it, does that say there almost has to be a place for him to get in right away?
Not necessarily. We got to make sure that he knows what he's doing, that he fits into the system, and also, there's a lot of that position starting to get really deep. I think our skilled guys on offense our young skilled guys on offense are starting to look like what they used to here. Now we got to continue to do that, for 2 more years, and that's when you get back to what we saw before.
Is there a chance that George Farmer could get involved somehow in the special teams?
Sure. Yeah, when we get the kickoff return, he'll be back there, so we'll be looking at him doing that. And he's a unique body to be so big and so fast. He can do other things, besides touching the ball, coverage units and blocking and returning in too.
Got a lot of players waiting for you guys. Are you hesitant to put another star